Well, thanks so much for joining us. Can you talk to us about the big event that you got going on this weekend?
Yeah, we've been here close to 10 years in the Coastal Bend doing the show twice a year at the R&B Fairgrounds. We bring in vendors from all over the United States to sell animals. Basically, they sell their reptiles, amphibians, and then the feeders and supplies and everything else that goes along with proper husbandry of these animals. So we have educational booths. The Sea Life Center will be out there as well. You can come feed some of the tortoises. So it's a family-friendly event, and the vendors are there to educate people on if this is the right pet for you. A lot of these pets are what they call exotic or strange, but to us it's pretty common. There's some kids with like allergies, dogs and cats, they're allergic. This might be a little bit, something a little different for them. But at least come out and even if you're afraid, everything's in enclosures. It's a good way to get over some of those fears and get educated on exactly what these are about.
For sure. How has the reaction been from the public that come out there for the first time and they see these exotic, a lot of them are reptiles, right?
Yeah, mainly reptiles and amphibians. They come back. Most of the people who come out for the very first time are completely surprised at, for one, how organized and clean and professional it is. It's not like a flea market kind of thing. It's actually really professionally done. These vendors spend a lot of time and effort into making their displays look good and their animals are taken care of properly. So some of the things that we've gotten is, well, that vendor wouldn't sell me that animal. Well, then that means that you weren't ready, and that's fine. It's a good place to come out and make sure that it's going to be the first, or going to be the right pet for you. So don't get discouraged by that, but we want to make sure that the animal's taken care of properly and goes to a good home.
For sure. What do you got here? Crawling around your hand.
Yeah.
It looks like it's wrapped around your hand.
Yeah,
right
this
now.
is a corn snake. Now, corn snakes are native to Texas. They're a rat snake basically, but this is just a corn snake subspecies. This one is amelanistic, which is an albinism trait. So this is not what they look like in the wild, but they could. There are some variations, but they come in different colors and patterns and things like that. Some are striped, some are banded, and that's the other thing too, is a lot of these people are breeding for the genetics behind these animals that have different things. So leopard geckos and chameleons will be there, and some of the colors and patterns and variations are insane in these guys. One of the most common is ball python. So we have several of those vendors out there, but the color and pattern variations are mind-blowing. For the first person, or for the first time going out there and seeing it, you'll be amazed.
That's awesome. And one thing that I've noticed over the years is kind of you talked about the combinations. These are kind of rare and exotic. Something that people kind of strive for, right? Like they're kind of collectors in a sense.
Yeah, some of the people that come out to buy these animals are breeders and collectors, and then some people are looking for pets. Well, that's what we're there for. It's an all-in-one kind of thing. So if there are breeders that are looking for certain genetics, they'll come out and look for those certain genes that they're trying to pair up and breed to produce certain animals. And then there's the pet side of it, where they're just trying to get a pet that's going to be a companion kind of pet, something that's interesting and cool to have,
For sure. What is the most common question that you guys get whenever people come for the first time? What do they ask you?
Do they bite, or are they in enclosures, or can I take them home? Are they actually for sale? Can I pet them? A lot of those questions can be answered by each vendor. Some vendors will let you touch every animal on their table. Some vendors will ask that you only touch them if you're interested in purchasing the animals, and that's just because of cross-contamination and things like that. So you get a lot of people that come in not knowing what to expect until they walk in the room. Once they walk on the floor and they're amazed at how spread it is and the variety of everything, it takes you a full day just to walk through and look at everything.
Yeah, well, it certainly is a fantastic event. How many people do you expect to come through the doors?
We usually average between 3,000 and 4,000 people for the weekend.
Wow, that's quite the number.
Yeah.
And compare that to the amount of vendors you have. How many?
We have close to 200 tables or so, but I think we have about 75 to 80 just vendors, probably closer to 90 separate vendors.
Right. Okay. Well, can you give us a clue at some of the maybe it's something in your display, but what is the most rare breed or reptile or amphibian that you have?
There could be some. There might be some really higher end, like ball pythons, believe it or not, that have some variations in colors that are very rare. You'll see some monitor species there. No venomous or anything is there. Some of the chameleons are really high end. It just depends on what they're looking for. We have everything from $30 to $40 gecko to several $1,000 animals that'll be there.
For sure. What do you feel is the most? I guess why do people want the ball python so much? That seems to be the name that keeps coming up here. What do you think the fascination is with?
I think for most people it was like a beginner keystone animal for them. It was one of the first pets that most people had as a ball python because they were easily accessible. They're bred heavily. And their care is very easy. It's a very basic as far as setup is concerned. It's inexpensive to get a setup the right way and do it the right way. And so I think, and they're docile. They like to ball up. People think they're cute. You get a lot of these different, things that people are like, this is the reason why I got it. But a lot of the people who start with this, they're in Petcos and PetSmarts, and they see these ball pythons and these little puppy dog faces, and they're like, I can handle that. So, but a lot more goes into it. Making sure that they're properly heated, the humidity's right, they're fed the right way, they're fed the right size. That's all something you can find out at the show as well.
And that's kind of the point of this, for people to come out and ask questions, like get an idea of what it takes, because it's not like you just get a snake or whatever and you just have it. There's a lot of care, of course, a lot of time, effort, and money goes into this. What all does somebody need to get started?
Well, you'll spend more on the enclosure than you will on the animal in some cases. Each species has a very defined set of things that it needs to thrive. And you have to meet those guidelines. So meeting those husbandry requirements is something that each vendor can tell you for each specific animal. You can go from very, very simple setups to very, very detailed and like build them completely out with live plants and waterfalls. It just depends on what your budget is. The key is to make sure that the animals are taken care of properly. All of the decorations and things can be for you, as long as they're not a detriment to the animal's safety.
All right. What message do you have for people out there that are thinking about coming to the show?
Just give it a try. If you've thought about it before and you've never come out because you're scared or you're not interested that much, you'd be surprised how many people walk through the door like, I'm never gonna do this again, and walk out holding an animal. Talk to the people who are there. Come to the show, talk to the vendors, talk to the breeders, ask questions. Engage with them. That's what they're there for. They want to talk to you and spread their love of this hobby. The myths about snakes are something that we try to debunk. Like I'd mentioned earlier, if you see a snake in your yard, spray it with a water hose. Call someone. Call a rehabber to come out and remove it. Try not to kill these animals. They are really beneficial for our ecosystem. So just education. That's the big thing. Have people come out, learn something new, maybe get over a fear, maybe take home a new pet.
Well, I mean, you've got a good one there. It looks that's a beautiful corn snake.
Yeah, it is really pretty.
I'm just. Do you mind if I?
Yeah, you can pet it.
Oh wow! Oh wow! That is.
They're not slimy.
No, it's not slimy
super
at
soft.
all. Yeah, super soft, smooth.
Yeah. And it's wrapping me because it's trying to stay warm.
Okay. A little cool in this icebox of a TV news station that we're in. But thank you so much for joining us, and
absolutely.
we hope everybody goes out to the event this weekend at the Richard Borchard Fairgrounds, Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4.
10 to 4, okay, Sunday. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.